Go.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, race fans. This is the iCar Racing Network, home to the iCar Racing First Sprint Cup Racing Series. I'm John Diekman, your host. With me tonight is the Brian Wright. Tonight we're going to be talking about the last race at Daytona. What a great thriller. And we're going to be talking about this coming race at ATL. So, Brian, what do you think about this week or last week's race at Daytona?
For the ones that ran and admin the league, it was a rousing success. For me, it didn't end so well as I pulled the Austin Dillon into the catch fence to end my day. How about you? Any surprises there?
The biggest surprise was how calm everyone was in the first half of the race. My biggest concern was jumping in and, open race this season, a lot of jitters are going to be around, and we went 48 laps, green flag from the drop of the green, which was phenomenal. You can't really have a better start. And second half of the race was good, tight racing. I mean, there's moments where the leaders were 3 wide. It looked like there was a good class. The top 10 usually could get away from the second half of the field. It looked like that even from the beginning. A lot of different strategy. I know myself and Jay Wall and Jonathan Eason were on a different strategy than anybody else. And it's just, really good, clean racing. I mean, towards the end, you had it's Daytona. Everyone wants to win it. So, fenders were rubbed and stuff like that. It was a lot more take and a lot less give. So, but I think other than that, no one could really complain about how the race really went.
No, actually, race stats here. We done 100 laps at Daytona, 4 cautions for 16 caution laps, 26 lead changes, which is startling. I didn't think there was that many, but apparently there was. So, get down to the running order here. We have Levi Zielinski won in the last lap thriller caused by Jonathan Eason and Dylan Duval.
Yeah. That's one of the situations, that it's white flag. We just crossed the start finish line or exited tri-oval, and was the issue was forced a little bit? Yeah, but it's a white flag. It's just one of the hard racing instances on the last lap. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, Dylan Duval, and really most of the field. I was caught up in the wreck. I had a top 5 car at that point. Caught up in the wreck. TJ Graves, I think he was third right in front of me.
Yeah, he actually led the most laps. He led 39 laps in that race.
Yeah, TJ?
Yes, TJ.
Yeah. And Duval had 23.
Yep, 23.
And, it was just one of those things where, Levi, right place, right time. That's really what it was. And, credit to him. He was able to keep his car clean for most of the race, put himself in a situation to win.
Yeah.
It took that to happen, but, hey, he still won it.
Yeah, he won it.
Take that away.
Yeah. And from what I've noticed, from what I brought up to him earlier, was the bump from J-Wall actually saved him from getting caught up in that.
J-Wall said that, and Levi said that. So, yeah, it was one of those things where, was it a long shot? Yeah, but, hey, I think Levi was 7th or 8th by the time we crossed the start-finish line, and he ended up winning that.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. Like I said, it was a great finish.
Yeah, second place, we have Zachary Dubba, who at one point I believe was literally three or four laps down.
A lot of these people, I know Zachary Dubba, Robert McFarland, who finished 4th, and Cody Tabor, who I think he ended up finishing 12th a lap down because of that wreck. He couldn't get back to the start-finish line.
Yeah.
But even he was still on the lead lap at the white flag.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people were multiple laps down. And that's the thing. Like, I think those 3 drivers, they stick on my mind first off, that did that. They were a lap down, came back, and gave themselves a chance to win,
Even Chad Payne, he actually come back there at the second half of that race when we got that caution. And he was up there. I thought he was a lap down when I was originally recording that, but he wasn't. So he was in there, got caught up in the big wreck to come home 13th. David May finished 3rd. Very quiet run by him. Made a heck of a save. I forget who it was. I think it was Levi that actually, you and Levi had tangled.
Oh, yeah.
And he took the grass route and somehow kept it together and He came home third. Justin Kolb, who was a front runner all race, he actually led 15 laps. Come home in fifth.
Yeah. Jonathan Eason, who was who was actually leading when the wreck happened.
Yeah.
I thought he led. I guess not.
No, he didn't.
He was him. Jonathan Wall and myself were on the strategy was we're just going to chill in the back of the pack, wait till about 30 laps to go, and we'll start creeping our way forward. And it worked out pretty well just till the end, really. But you got to kind of we made our own bed and we sleep in it right now. I myself finished 7th, led 4 laps. Again, I'll just cop in the wreck, nothing I can do. Tyler Roberts, 8th, he started 7th. He started 7th. Very quiet race from him. He was on a lead lap. He was always up in the front, but never really asserted himself as a leader. I guess he was doing, wait till the last second, try to make something.
Yeah, he actually got caught up in that first caution with Ryan Stana. Yes, he was.
So that's another one. You just said that, didn't you?
Yeah, he came back. Actually, he was a lap down and came back, and got a lead lap finish out of it. I'd say the heartbreaking ones of all, literally, T.J. Graves at 9th and Dylan Duval at 10th.
They were the class act of the field. Duval, I don't know, early in the race was like within the first 20 laps, he made a 3-wide move for the lead. He was our pole sitter, Dylan Duval. T.J. Graves started 8th. He, was up there in the front. Those two, not teammates.
No.
Duval's in the Ford and Graves in the Chevy. Just worked very well together. And class act of the field, like I said. Just that Duval and Jonathan Eason incident, cost him a race. But again, Daytona, what can you do about it?
Exactly. Then we get further down the list. We get Jonathan Wall, who was with you the whole time. Mm-hmm. Quiet, stayed in the top 10 all race, and could have won. If he was a couple seconds off, he could have maybe got through that wreck and won it. But, could have, would have, should have.
Yeah, again, great race he ran. I guess all these drivers really were good for the most part. I don't think we had no complaints with anybody. No one was really doing anything crazy on the track.
No.
It was really tough to get through the field. A lot of people it was too wide for a lot of times in the race, too.
Yeah. There was times, heck, I think I sat 5th and 6th the whole time. And there was times I can go up there and I'm like, I can't. There's no way I can get up there because it was just so tight and didn't want to do the moves that some of them were pulling. But nonetheless, we have Cody Tabor sitting 12th. He had a quiet night. He was, like I said, 3 or 4 laps down at some point and came all the way back to route, a 12th place finish, even though he got caught up in the wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Payne.
We have Chad Payne, who was the last car 1 lap down. He had a very quiet race as well. I think he was up part of that front pack, though, I want to say. I think I remember seeing that. I don't know. Should probably watch your highlights before I did this. But, very quiet race, nothing dramatic. He started back in the pack 13th. Well, finished right where he started, 13th. And, very good race from him.
Yeah. Then we get to the big lap, I think, 88 incident between Judd Danielson and myself. We come home 14th and 15th, respectively. We each led 2 and 7 laps. Looked like he was just...
Yeah, explain that accident.
From what I gathered, it looks like he thought he was a little bit too close to David May. I think David May had lost some momentum, and he just came straight down and, Austin Dillon the wall.
And, he has apologized to you since.
Oh,
it's all good in the past.
Oh, yeah.
He does feel bad about it. I got a message from him actually after the race. He's like, I feel so bad doing that to Brian. But, all is good. Then we have Ryan
Steinacker, I think.
Steinacker?
Yeah, I think it's...
Message us if we mispronounce your name. I don't like to do that to other people, so just message us if that happens. 14 laps down. I think he got caught up in a wreck early on and just struggled to get back to where it was.
It was actually an interesting story because I kind of caught it a little bit on the tape when I was rewatching the replay. They were in a pack behind us, waiting for the big one, like they all do. And if one of the guys apparently hit their ignition button, and I guess it slowed him down, and it bottlenecked a bunch of these guys that were in the back up and gave them damage. That's why they were so far off.
Okay.
So
Bradley Bartley, I think he was part of that as well.
yeah, he got caught up in another wreck, and it was just done.
Patrick Eloff.
Yeah.
Elofer?
Yeah.
Same thing. He got caught in one of his early wrecks.
I think Ethan McClugan, I think he just maybe had some issues and had to disconnect.
Yeah. But, other than that, like I said, it was a great race. Just from my perspective, it was really tight, really close action all the race. I don't think you could ask for anything better than that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and like I said, 19 cars started the race. 6 guys actually led laps out of those 26 lead changes. Dylan Duval and Levi Zielinski was on the front row.
Also, they were, Levi, your winner, second place, and Duval, one of your top lap leaders.
Fastest lap of the race was Jonathan Eason at a 43.9. He was really flying. And I mean, that's in the books, the first race. Last lap mayhem, Levi Zielinski wins.
And later on, we're going to have Robert McFarland on with us to talk about his, run through the field with his solid top 5. And Levi Zielinski, I think he's going to come on about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And talk to us about his win and all of that stuff. But as of right now, we're going to go to the point standings. And obviously, your leader is going to be Levi Zielinski, leading the points after one race with a whopping
47 points.
47 points.
Yeah, I don't have mine up on there, but if anybody does go to the website and go to schedule or standings, it'll bring up our sub-site, which is the iRacing scoring page, which is an awesome little tool. We're able to... it's able to just track everything for us, kind of like a Race Points Manager. Definitely like it because it's just kind of simple for me. I can just slap them together and there you go.
We're just going to run through the top 10 right now. Levi leading the points. You have Zach Duva, who's 5 points back. In second, David May, 1 point behind Zach with 41 points. We have Justin Kolb and Robert McFarland tied for fourth with 40 points in each. Myself, John Beekman, and Jonathan Eason are both tied with 6 at 38 points apiece. Tyler Roberts sitting in 9th at 36 points, and Dylan Duval at 35 points, 12 points back from the leader. Like I said, this is early on. We're just giving you the points rundown. They mean nothing, honestly.
Yeah, right now they don't.
Levi did with that win, puts him in a great spot for the chase. And, but other than that, like I said, it's something that doesn't weigh a lot. It's not going to make or break a lot of these driver seasons. Everyone still has a chance to make the chase and, have a nice run the chase. Nobody's exactly out of it.
Yep. True words. This week we hit the track of Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Hot Atlanta.
Yep. Always had fun racing there, even in whatever I was in.
I've never raced here, so I have no idea how this is going to go.
I've raced some trucks there on iRacing. You can lose it like nothing. But
now, is it going to be one of those, can we see multiple grooves throughout, or is it going to be, low line entering, or pretty much hug the low line around?
Ooh, the better question is, are we going to have the rubber band effect where, you get out in front a little bit, lap a few cars down, and then a caution comes out and bunches everything up?
I think the way, if we're going to base off how last week's race went, hopefully not. I think, I think a lot of people are going to try to take it easy. There's no reason to push everyone forward right now. And, just try to get some laps led, try to get some tires on, see what you got. Maybe around a quarter way, and we might see some, more difficult racing against each other, and so on and so forth. But I don't think we're going to see, a wreck fest, to say. I think, probably have a nice spread out of all that.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta is one of those tracks, I think, that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagine there's multiple lines, not, you're not fighting for the bottom. You could hold your own on the high side.
Oh, yeah. I was actually able to in some things there. Doing the truck races. I was actually wrecked for the lead in an official truck race and got no explanation on why. you know how iRacing is.
Yeah, well, I'm learning. But it'll be interesting to see. Will Levi be able to defend? Go back to back wins. I think Dylan Duval is going to be one of those drivers we're definitely have to look at. I think he's going to be one of the class acts as well as Levi. TJ Graves, tough race last week. Maybe he could rebound, get a nice finish this week. Duba regained another top 5. A lot of guys in the top 5 looking to get another ones. And drive like you, myself, Jonathan Wall, Easton had good races at Daytona. Fell a little short. Speaking for myself, I want to get a top 5. So, we'll see how it goes. Atlanta's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
It's old track too, so tire wear is going to be keen. I think the bumps are going to come into play a little bit when it comes to passing and stuff like that.
Yep. And the experience factor of iRacing.
Oh yeah, There's a lot. I know a lot of these drivers. Myself, Jonathan Wall, not new to iRacing. We don't really know much, so.
Exactly.
We could be wrecking for all we know.
Exactly. Guess we'll take a really quick break here, and when we come back, we'll. And we're back, and we finally have Levi Zielinski on the line. And I'm going to let Shocker take it away from this point, or Eric Diekman, whatever he wants to be called. And, yeah, go ahead, Shocker.
All right, Levi, first off, congratulations on your win at Daytona. How did it feel, though, being where you're around 7th or 8th place when that wreck happened? Do you really think that was going to happen? Lucky win like that? I wouldn't say lucky, but a lot of things did fall your way for that win.
Yeah, we kind of did have that lucky penny, in the car somewhere. Somewhere it was. I think we melted it to the dash. But we were sitting about 5th, I think, at the time when the wreck happened. We had really good momentum coming, though, from J-Wall behind us. So I wasn't too concerned if the wreck happened. It happened. I think we set ourselves in a good position being on the bottom line because, obviously, when wrecks happen, everything goes to the top first. It gave us that chance to get by it just in time. If the wreck didn't happen, I think we still had a lot of momentum coming. So I think it would have been a good finish.
Yeah, because I know you had we did a Hardline Racing series. Cody Tabers, who did last week's podcast, he had a truck series race that you actually won the same exact way, which is quite hilarious.
Put yourself in the right position at the right time, and that's what happens.
So, going through the race, how do you feel during the race? So, because you did lead a couple laps, you did start second, and you were, top 5 pretty much most of the race. Must have been really good to know that you had a car that could win the race if need be.
Yeah, we knew from the start pretty much what kind of car we unrolled with. I knew the car was going to be fast, so for my matter, I didn't really want to be up front the whole time. I wanted to ride around in the pack, see what kind of moves we can make. See what was going to go through. I knew by the end of the race I wasn't really going to be able to work with Dylan Duval or TJ Graves because I kind of had something set up already. So I kind of knew where I had to be and who I had to work with. So I think it made it a lot more exciting doing what we were doing. That's where I see from it.
Yeah, but it was very weird though. Start of the race, top 10. It was because I was in the back of the pack and first half of the field just broke away from everybody. So it was weird how that worked out, but because we were going to drop in the back of the field and ended up being a whole separated. So the first half of the race went completely green. How did you feel about the race altogether? I mean, like I said, first half of the race was green. Green had a couple of cautions throughout, but other than that, your thoughts and opinions on the racing?
Racing was great. I really like the green flag racing. I think we're going to see more of that, to be honest, in coming races, especially with Atlanta. I think we're going to see probably a couple of green flag pit stops there, to be honest. Does that matter though? Race went really smooth. There was only 4 cautions. Cautions that you've seen at the end. That's gonna happen anytime. I was really glad that we got that 8 or 9 lap run in at the end, so that helped a little bit.
Oh yeah. So what's you got a little insight for what you're gonna do for Atlanta next week, other than try do back-to-back wins?
Really, I ain't going for back-to-back wins. I know it's gonna be hard. Racing with Dylan Duvall, obviously he's a pro, so I mean, if you got his number, then obviously you probably should be up there racing with pros too. So I think our thing is get top 5, keep the tires on it, because tires are gonna be key, especially with long green flag runs. Track's slick. You're gonna have to be able to manage your car, make sure you don't wreck it.
Brian, you have any questions for him?
So, since you got the first one out of the way, do you see yourself winning a championship this year?
Nah. I mean, realistically, everyone wants to say yes, but not really. I'm just hoping for maybe a runner-up position as the best. But I don't like to say top 5 is where my goal is. I know everyone says I have a lot more experience right now than a lot of people, but I don't really see myself up there with Dylan Duvall and TJ Graves.
Very, very well said. Can you give us 3 keys to winning Atlanta?
3 keys. Keeping tires on it. Making sure you do not overdrive the car, and keep it out of the wall.
Willie said. And if you don't have anything left for him, Diekman, I think we're done with him.
Oh, we're going to toss him out like trash?
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. Like I said, congratulations on your win, and best of luck to you at Atlanta this coming Thursday.
Yep, thank you, 10-4.
Oh, do your
Should
shout
be up
out
there.
for your Twitch account. Shout out
yeah.
for Twitch so you can watch them live stream. Let's hear it.
Twitch.tv/LEVMZ. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's LMZ Racing. And I also have YouTube. It's Levi Zielinski. So look it up either way.
Awesome. And next up we'll have Robert McFarland.
And I think we'll take another break. We'll be back.
Yes. All right, we're back here for the show, and Eric Diekman finally has Robert McFarland on the line. Take it away, Diekman.
All right, Robert, the reason why I want to interview you because I've noticed beginning of the race you struggled. You had went down I think a couple laps even at one point. Is that correct?
At least one lap. I know we were down. I'd like to first take the chance real quick just to thank a couple of folks if you don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, well, I want to thank all the fans out there, our sponsors Snap-on and Ford, Roush Yates Engines. Chad Payne is our car owner. We're a real small team, about 5 employees. And, he's given me this opportunity. I'm actually running for Rookie of the Year. And I also wanted to thank Ryan Sneinaker with FL Farms using their wind tunnel in the off-season, or we wouldn't have done anywhere near as well as we did. But, yeah, I was being my first Daytona race, wanted to not get in trouble early and did get lapped. I was hoping there'd be a caution or two, which there was, and really wanted to stay out of trouble until, near the end of the race, which I was lucky enough to do. And then, at that point, we'd made a lot of, plethora of changes on the car on pit road a couple times with, air pressure and wedge, even put some Packers in the front. And it still just wasn't quite up to speed until after that last restart.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I mean, very good run though. It just took a lot of people by storm that able to battle up to get that top 5. Speaking about that, you did get a little trouble early on, but able to keep through with it. Is it tough to stick through a race like that, or is it one of those things where it's Daytona, you have to wait till the end for the race anyway, so it makes it more of a fun race anyway to struggle early on?
Exactly. Of course, I didn't mean to get in the wall there on lap, I guess, around 43 when the first caution came out. I had a couple guys behind me. We were catching a couple of guys, and we were going to pass them on the high side. And right as I got to them, I got real aero tight, and the car just wouldn't turn. And I got up into the wall, and I didn't realize until seeing the replay that the couple of cars behind me got into each other at the exact same time. Not even sure if the caution would have come out, but that did help us get down pit road and get the fenders beat out, and get back. I think later in the race there was another caution where we got our lap back, and I was just kind of biding my time there in the back.
So take us through your view of the white flag crash. How were you able to navigate through, if you were even able to? Because I know a lot of people did get involved in that. Even myself, I had to coast back to the line. I was lucky to even make it back. So tell us about your experience through that white flag crash.
Right. Yeah, with about, 8 or 10 to go when they had that restart, I was back in 11th or 12th. And I still feared there'd be a big one. But I wanted to maintain with that pack of cars because I knew that if there was, there'd be a chance, I might get, through it or whatever. So on that last lap, from my viewpoint, I just saw some smoke ahead of me. And so I knew there was going to be a wreck. I knew that my best chance was to get down off the track on the apron as quick as I could, which I did. And I think right as I was getting clear, I got hit in the back of my car. And I was still able to maintain speed. I actually accelerated back up to fourth. I passed one car coming to the checkered flag who was damaged also. He obviously was damaged more than I was. But, every time I get behind the wheel of the 43 car, I take it real personally. I know the deep heritage of that car, and it's just such a privilege. I wanted to get the best result I could.
And, Abel, like I said, that's the reason why I want to interview you because, it was amazing. Because we look at the stints, I'm like, wasn't even like a lap down early in the race. How do you even get back up there? But kept through with it. I know you, Cody Tabor, and who was it, Tyler Roberts, Brian?
Yep.
Tyler Roberts was able, you three, just come to mind of battling back, coming back and get a nice, strong finish. So, what's going to be your strategy for Atlanta next week? It's going to be a tough track. We talked to Levi. He stressed tires are going to be a big thing. And also just, it's tough to pass on that track, and it's a very old, bumpy track. So what are your strategies for Thursday night at Atlanta?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I've, driven on that track in a couple of other divisions, and it is a tough track to get around, especially the weather is going to be a big factor. I think it's going to be 88 degrees or 86 degrees when the green flag drops, and that track is definitely going to be loose. I'm just counting on my crew chief, Cole Trickle, to keep adjustments on the car and myself not to spin out because, I know if I spin out first 5 laps, I could be toast. So my strategy is going to be, if we can get the pole, great, stay out front. But, if we can't get the pole, start first or second, I'm probably going to do a similar strategy as Daytona and avoid the wrecks, avoid the wall, get 4 tires on it as often as we can. And, hopefully there at the end, have a shot to get a good top 5 finish.
Brian, you have any questions?
I asked Levi already. What are your thoughts for the remainder of the year? You think you're going to have a shot at this championship?
Well, my biggest goal, is running for Rookie of the Year. I know there's a lot of drivers with a lot more experience than I have. But again, I'm real thankful for this opportunity that Chad Payne's given me. And I think there's a chance that we might sneak in there and win a race or two. It might be on a plate race. But if we can, stay out of trouble, we don't have that many cars, so we don't want to wreck them all. And if I can just stay out of trouble, maybe get a couple of top 5s, get a lot of top 10 finishes. Who knows? Maybe we can finish in the top 5, maybe the top 3.
Yeah, and the deep heritage of this league, anything can happen. I've seen it all.
Right.
Do you happen to have, people like Levi? He has a Twitch account where they could see him live stream. Do you happen to have something like that, or anything along those lines, or?
Well, I do not have a Twitter account. I haven't set that up. Of course, I got a Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You can follow me there if you want to. And other than that, I would say tune in and watch the races. The replays are going to be awesome. That's where you're going to really, see what happens every single week. And to be honest, I'm real thankful to be in this league, and just to have a chance to work with some good professional folks. And it appears to me that this is going to be a quality run league that there's chances for even somebody like myself without a lot of experience to not only have a lot of fun, make some money, and learn a whole lot.
Oh yeah, it's definitely this year's gonna be a big wild card year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Robert, for joining us, and best of luck to you at Atlanta, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much, and hopefully I'll be in the top 4 or 5 finishing there, and we'll do another interview.
Sounds good, man. You have a good night.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Me and Diekman kind of forgot to record the ending. But, I just want to bring something up after hearing the Robert interview. That's kind of what we're looking for. We all know it's a game. We all know, we all have come to terms with that. But, it's what you make it. And, it's really cool that he was able to do that. It literally felt like he just got off the track and he was, he was in full character, and that's what we're looking for, and we appreciate that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As of this time, I haven't got our Atlanta race uploaded yet. I've been busy with overtime. Anyway, we'll see you for next time. Thank you for listening, and you guys have a great evening.